Well, hello, Pinnacle students. We're being more sophisticated today because I'm at my desk. And you're going to ask, hey, is Walker going to talk like this the entire time? I guess you'll just have to find out. Hey, hope you're having a great day. It's great that you guys are checking this out. We're going to hop into it. So, have you ever sent the, shocked-faced emoji? Like, I feel like this is the season to send a shocked face emoji. You know, the one that's like, or the one that doesn't have a mouth. It's like, or the other one's just like mind blown, because we get shocked quite a bit. Definitely a season possibly been more shocked than other seasons of our lives. But, so we're talking about this series of what to do. So we're going to address, what do you do when you're shocked? When life throws a curveball, when things get a little haywire, when plans get changed, when everything seems to be falling apart around you and you have no idea what to do next. So that's what we're going to be addressing today. So let's just jump on into it. That was really awkward transition. The thing about shockful moments is a lot of times, and more of what we're talking about right now, is something that catches you off guard or surprises you or shocks you that you didn't plan for and you didn't, and hurts you. It causes some sort of internal problem, or some catastrophes happened. It's something that's like a train wreck of a surprise. And it always comes out of nowhere, okay? None of us have planned for anything that has happened in the past few months, but there's also plenty of times, when a family member comes and says they have cancer, someone gets in a car wreck, a loved one gets in a wreck, and their life is forever changed. There are lots of different things. Maybe for some of you, it was a divorce. You thought, hey, my parents are going to be around forever. They're going to be together forever. And then just out of the blue, they're like, hey, we're separating. These are all shocks and surprises that totally wreck us and take us by surprise. And there's certain things that happen during these seasons. And the first one is sometimes we surprise ourselves with how we handled that, whether good or bad. Maybe we surprise ourselves with, we tackled that situation really well. I really put my trust in God. He pulled me through it, and I kept a level head. But then there's other times where you just went cray-cray, and you took that crazy situation, that shock in your life, and just went haywire, to the window, to the wall. Another one is sometimes it amazes us how much it tears us apart on the inside. There's been lots of times, there are things that shocked me and I did not think would have as big of an effect as it did on me. Things that have just brought me to tears and broken my heart that I never anticipated for them to do. And that's another thing. Sometimes we don't expect the mental weight that a situation can have. And the last one is sometimes through those situations, we feel closer to God. But also there's the other side of the coin where that situation caused us to feel very distant from God and possibly even ask, does God even exist? And so to sort of tackle that question of what do we do when we get to where, how do we get shocked by a situation and feel closer to God and not like He doesn't exist? And for that, I want to hop into Genesis. We're talking through this series about a guy named Joseph in the first book of the Bible, because his life was pretty wild. It's a pretty crazy story. Last week we talked about how Joseph was the chosen one. He was his father's favorite, and he had dreams of his brothers bowing down to him. We're going to hop into Genesis 37:18, and this verse is just so great of how his brothers handled this. So let's read. When Joseph's brothers saw him coming, they recognized him in the distance. As he approached, they made plans to kill him. Man, that's great. Just like, hey, we made plans to kill you. Like, what? This is how they're handling this situation? Oh, there's Joseph. Let's just murder him. That's cool, right? But luckily for Joseph, one of the brothers had a conscious moment and was like, okay, maybe I can look past my anger and realize that we shouldn't kill my brother. So let's read Genesis on. Let's see what Reuben, his brother that thought hey, maybe we shouldn't kill him, what Reuben says. So verse 21 says, but when Reuben heard of their scheme, he came to Joseph's rescue. Let's not kill him, he said. Why should we shed any blood? Let's just throw him into the empty cistern here in the wilderness. Then he'll die without our laying a hand on him." Reuben was secretly planning to rescue Joseph and return him to his father. All right, Reuben, high five, bro. You thought something through, and it seems logical and the correct thing to do. Good job, bro. One of the few. As they're making their way to throw Joseph into this well, they rip his coat off, the coat that her father gave him, very special coat. Sunday school call it, the coat of many colors. So the thing is, though, they notice a caravan traveling, and they decided to do something instead of throwing him into a well. So let's see. So the brothers ripped off the robe, doused it in blood, and then returned it to the father. They sent the beautiful robe to their father with this message: "Look at what we found. Doesn't this robe belong to your son?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, of course it does," the dad responds. That's my son Joseph, like my favorite son." "Yeah, Dad, we know it's your favorite son. Thanks, Dad." But see, what they did is they ripped this robe off, doused it in blood to make the father think that an animal had killed Joseph. And what they did to Joseph was they took him and sold him to some traders into slavery. Brothers of the Year award goes to Joseph's brothers. Congratulations. Before we continue on, I just want us to hone in and think. I believe we cannot fathom or imagine the absolute terror that Joseph is experiencing in this moment. To have all your brothers, your family, turn their back on you, rip your robe off, soak it in blood, and then sell you into slavery. Like, I personally can't even fathom what that is like, because I've never had anything close to that situation in my life ever occur. And I don't think that's ever happened to any of you guys, but it's just pretty wild, right? Like, that's kind of a crazy out there situation. And that's the story of Joseph as we continue on. But I want us to look at how Joseph responds, because this is a totally situation. We can't even really think what that situation would be like. So this is totally, what do I do? What to do when you don't know what to do situation here. Joseph gets through this situation, a little bit of spoiler there, but this is how. This is just 5 words that's really powerful in Genesis 39, verse 2, just the first 5 words of this. The Lord was with Joseph. So all of these things, when Joseph is getting beat up, his clothes ripped off, and then sold into slavery by his brothers, it says the Lord was with him. So no matter what horrible situation we find ourselves in, no matter what plan changes, whatever decision we go down, and it may seem like a catastrophe, we still have to remember that the Lord is with us. And the thing is a lot of times we're like, oh, well, God is with me. He'll change everything around me. That's not always the truth, and most of the time is not what happens. See, God may not always, or God is always with us, but He may not always change the situation, but He's going to change us. Like, that's an important thing. The situation may not change, but you will change because God is with you in that situation you find yourself in. So hey, a lot of us have found ourselves in a world right now where there's a lot of uncertainties. Okay, some of us, you maybe have sent shock face emojis to each other, maybe followed up by some fire emojis of like, the whole world's burning to the ground. I'm joking. Everything's going to be fine. But the thing is that during this season, we have to realize that God is with us. And here's a couple of like application points that I want you all to take with you during this sort of downtime or this change or any time you find yourself in a surprising, shockful, hurtful situation. And that first one is be real. You got to be real. Be honest with yourself. Be honest to your friends. Be honest to your family. But most importantly, be real and be honest to God. Tell Him how you feel. Hey, I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders and I'm overwhelmed. Let it out, man. Like, no reason to harbor that for yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to others about your emotions. We're here for each other. It's what small groups are for. It's what the small group leaders are for. And that is what God is there for. He's there to listen and help and change us for His glory. And the second is, it is so easy to find yourself in this moment of time and in any future moment. It's so easy to forget that God is with us. And that's like one of the most like overused stereotypical church sayings in the world, to just be like, well, God is with us, we'll get through this situation. Like, we just spout that out with really thinking about it. But I want y'all to realize that whatever situation, whatever occurrence happens in your life, you are never alone. Never alone. Like, you can get through this. You have someone there that will rally behind you, pull you through, and pull you closer to Him. You just have to remember that. So listen, you're going to want to insert the shocked face emoji a lot of times in your life, and that's okay. But God was with Joseph, and Joseph ends up turning out really well, but he has to go through a lot of crap. His circumstances, God didn't just come in and radically change his circumstances. Instead, God changed Joseph a lot. And that's what we have to do. We have to realize God is with us, and we ask for God to change us, not our circumstances. Because when God changes us, we're going to start doing things, and our circumstances will start to change off of that. So hey, I hope that you guys know that we are here for you. If you need someone to talk to, if maybe you're not in a small group with Pinnacle students, but you still would like to have someone to talk to, send us a direct message. We have lots of small group leaders that will be very happy to discuss whatever is going on with your life at this time. We are for you, we are here for you, but most importantly, God is with you at all times. Love you guys. Have a great day.